this computer. Hello, everyone. Welcome. This is May Clark of Earthlight Energies, and with me here today is Janet Graham. And welcome to our interview for the Wellness Project. So just give me one moment here while I share my screen and get rid of these controls. There we go. Well, I guess it didn't work. I need glasses after all, Janet. We're fighting with our glasses here. Hide the video panel. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. Hide the floating controls. There we are. Oh, well. So welcome to the Wellness Project. This is the last one for 2022. It's really unbelievable how this year kind of zipped right by. And today, Janet Graham, Spirit Answers, and we're looking forward to 2023.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yes, a play on words. So we're just going to do a brief introduction and what Janet's up to these days and where you can find her. And then we're going to have Janet tap into spirit and talk about some themes around looking forward to 2023, and then we'll close up and I will provide you with her contact information. Actually, you know what I think I'll do? I think I'm actually going to show that now, so it's in the video screen, so we don't have to fiddle around with all of this after. So here's Janet's contact information. We are recording live from North Bay, Ontario. It's a beautiful, wintry but mild day. And everything looks beautiful because it's all just lightly dusted with snow.
It feels like Christmas.
It feels like Christmas. And if you want to get a hold of Janet, please text only at 519-894-6739. And her email address is janetgraham1111@gmail.com. And her website, you can either reach her through Earthlight Energies. And if you go I believe it's under sessions, other services. You can find a link to her information there, or you can go directly to her website, spiritanswers.ca. And we will be looking forward to seeing you in health, harmony, and happiness. Look at that.
Isn't that beautiful?
So I'm going to stop the share here. And we are back now. So, Janet, tell us a little bit about yourself. I know we have a video that we did. I can't even remember how long ago it was. And if you just want to introduce yourself, tell everybody who you are, what you do, what services you provide.
Well, I do a little bit of everything, but I love doing readings. I love how I feel when I connect with spirit directly, and Spirit tells me everything that I need to tell you. Okay. And it's a wonderful feeling because it just comes right straight through my head and into my heart. And then I can just tell you everything that they're showing me and telling me and guiding me to do and say. Okay. They bring in your loved ones because your loved ones will come in. And we talk to them. And I gotta warn you though, if you want to talk to a lot of your loved ones, they can be cranky sometimes, but they also have a really good sense of humor.
Good.
Okay, so it's really fun connecting with your loved ones and people, just friends that have passed on. It's kind of fun exploring what your future is going to be about too.
Yeah, and you've had some big changes in 2022 because as far as your services go, you're now doing in-person readings at Earthlight Energies on Tuesdays. So if anybody wants to do an in-person reading, but for those of you who are listening in from across the country or around the world, if you want Janet to do a reading for you, she can connect with you through text or through email and then set up a phone reading. And so that's new. And then you also started a group
Yeah,
thanks to one of my clients.
one of your
So-
pushy clients.
Yes. So, and at least it wasn't me this time.
Well, the two of you were talking about it quite a bit. So.
Yes. So maybe if you want to just talk a little bit how the group started and the name of your group and what it's all about.
Well, we have these meetings, and these meetings are to help each other to bring out our gifts and to feel comfortable with our gifts, to understand them a little bit better, and what we need to do to be aware, to understand our potential. Okay. And it's not about, oh my God, I walked by that person and I felt their energy, and oh, I just wanted to give them this message. Okay. Yeah, that happens. It's
Mhm.
happened to me quite a few times in the oddest of places, like grocery stores and Walmart. But,
Huh.
it's crazy. But just being more aware of the gifts that you have and how to use them in a way that's positive. Okay. So that you never use anything to hurt anybody. You don't want to hurt anybody. It's all based on love. Okay. And healing. Because when spirit gives you a message, and they want you to pass it on to that person, it's to help that person to heal themselves and heal from that loss. And they have to look at it differently. Okay, that it's just a very thin veil.
Mhm.
And it's like, well, right there. Oh my God, I see them.
Mhm.
Okay. And it's really cool because we also talk about our strengths, our weaknesses, how to bring out the best in ourselves.
Mhm.
Okay. But always do it in a really positive, loving way.
Mhm.
And I love the fact that spirit is there all the time. It's just one thought away.
Well, and I think too, the group that, so it's, we called it, the messenger group. And it all started because one of my clients, her gifts were coming, she was becoming more and more aware of her gifts. And it's not that she never knew that she had them, but like many of us, what happens is she shut them down because, of you think it's normal, and then you find out nothing is normal in the real, like what you're experiencing. And then, and especially in her case, then she had to stop talking to people because of the reaction that she was getting from people. And it was all about, well, I got all this information, and how do I give this to a person in a way that's not going to freak them out, finding that balance. And also having, instead of being alone and feeling like you're, stick out of water, that forum actually gives a place for everyone to talk about all their experiences in a very free and open way, and not be ridiculed, not be questioned, not to be made feeling like they're crazy, and they don't have to keep it to themselves. So I think that's been one of the benefits. And then I think some of the cool exercises and things that you've been giving us to do to stretch ourselves, has been really fun and really interesting. So
You
it's
never
been
know
good.
what you can do until you try.
Yes. And for those of you, it's a community of people within North Bay, but also there are some people that join us from outside of North Bay through Zoom. So that's available as well if people are interested. And what day do you do this?
I do it the second Tuesday of every month. So,
And it's from 7 till 9 at Earthlight Energies at 176 Lakeshore, Suite 1C. And if you want more information about it, it's on, I believe I have it. Yes, it's on my website. If you go to my calendar, you can get the information, and you can just contact Janet. It's her group, so everything goes through her. I'm just facilitating the space. So
yes.
that's another big change. And
Yeah.
not only did, like I always get clients who ask me, well, would Janet be willing to mentor me? And she says, no.
I don't wanna.
And then I was like, okay, this client said, well, what if it was a group of people? And it's like, okay, let's try it. And it turned out really well. So,
It did actually. It surprised me how well it turned out, because I wanted it to be a safe place
mhm.
for everybody, and that when they come in there, they're going to feel comfortable, they're going to feel safe, and they're going to feel like, okay, I'm not crazy.
And they can get answers too, because sometimes they're
Exactly.
experiencing things that it's like, oh, was this real? Was it in my head? Was it, or is this something real that's happening? So, yeah, it's been very interesting. So that's one big change and pushed you out of your comfort zone. So
Yeah.
that was a good thing.
Mm.
The other thing is that, well, I've known you now for 3 years,
Yep.
3 years, something like
Yep.
that. And then I found within my practice, because of your unique abilities, I'd be working on a client, and because I'm bound by rules with the Canadian Reiki Association, we can't give psychic messages, but in Reiki, you pick up all kinds of information. Sometimes it's pretty easy to pass that information on to people. And sometimes it's not so easy, and everything, some of the things I get aren't really that clear. So I describe it as, I have the outline, and then you color in all the details in a beautiful way. So, one of the things I've done is I use you as a consultant with my clients when I'm doing a custom program, a healing program for them. And then I'll consult with you. And as I explain to my clients, it's not free. I do pay for Janet's services, and it's built into the fees that I charge my clients. They're actually getting a really good deal.
Hey, you do awesome work. You really, you amaze me at some of the things that you've done.
Well, thank you. And and I think even though it's not, and I explained to them, it's not a reading, I have questions, and then I get Janet to answer those questions in relation to the healing program that I'm designing for the client. And for them, it's like such a huge revelation and healing. It's healing within itself. And also some of the things that I just talk about every day, like past lives and how they impact us. Some of that information I learned from you as to how, well, why is this coming up now? Well, in a past life, this is probably what happened in a past life at this age, at this time. Now it's coming up. And now, just briefly talking about, well, it's going to segue into the other thing that we started doing this year. But, I energetically pick up a lot of past life stuff from people. And for a while, I was like, well, what's going on? It's everybody. Well, of course, every one of us, for the most part, every one of us is bringing in past life trauma experiences, energetic things that are either in things, that's a technical term, in our energetic light body, in our physical body, right down to the cellular level. It can be the epigenetics, ancestral, family of origin. And we find these soul groups, that of our family, and we're here to heal all that right now. All the trauma from the past lives, all the karmic debt's kind of the wrong word, but people are familiar with it. It's all got to be healed and cleared with what we're moving into this new energetic space. In 2023, we've already been moving into it. So the past life stuff is great because I would pick it up energetically. Sometimes I get impressions of it, but then I can say to Janet, here's what I'm getting, and boom, like you'll get me all this past life stuff. The healing and clearing is done. And people are amazed. They're like, I've been going to the doctor for how long, and they can't find anything wrong with me. And now this is healed. And oftentimes too, it's healing in the relationships that they're in, or sometimes it's ending relationships that they're in. But it's so multifaceted when you heal one thing, what that impact is. And I know for my clients, they're just blown away. Like when I refer Janet to them, they cannot believe how detailed the readings are and how impactful they are, and even if it's just information from a loved one or understanding what their path is about or the blocks that are in their life, it's deeply healing, because then they're given information that they can then make choices about their life around those things, that the information that you get.
But it's the results. The
Mhm.
results are so amazing. They blow my socks off.
Mhm.
Like oh, it's like afterwards you give them these sessions, and they have their sessions, whether it's 4 or 6 or 10 or 12, whatever they need. And then
Oh, you're talking
afterwards,
about my stuff. Yeah.
I'm talking about your stuff. Like, and after those sessions are done, the people are walking away going, my God, I feel so light.
Mhm.
I'm
It's
not
transformed
hurting
their whole
anymore.
life.
It just
Yeah.
transforms everything.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yes, I feel very honored to be given the gift to do this work. I'm actually going to get weepy-eyed. Woo.
Don't do that.
So, but the other aspect of that is like giving people the information, because there's so much information that's been held from us and not understanding what's going on. And when you're struggling, we have to understand we're a soul inhabiting this human body, and we're frustrated because we know there's something different. We know, but there's no book. We can't read up on it. We can't access the information, and it's frustrating. And all of a sudden their lives get totally transformed and changed, and it's permanent. It's a permanent change,
Absolutely.
because we're meant to do it. We're meant to bring it in, to get rid of it and move forward. So, and I find this combination of doing this work has really helped. So then what happened as far as doing the past life, we started to, I would get to a certain point where I got stuck with my clients, and it's like, okay, what I'm doing right now isn't clearing them. Janet, I need your help. So we came up with a process to actually do a clearing and a healing. And I need Janet there because I can pick up the timeline and I can pick up the actual bubble of information. But then I need Janet to then translate all that information. And she does all that with beautiful detail. And those sessions we just started doing, they're pretty intense and long. Like they usually end up being an hour and a half, 2 hours. They are recorded for the client, and it's so fascinating to actually hear the lives that people have lived,
It is.
and
It's
the ones
beautiful.
that are actually impacting them now, because we've lived so many of them. We've been different beings, we've been on different planets, different solar systems, but there's only specific ones that come up through the process. And of course, it's all Reiki based. There's earth light energies, which I developed, that's in there. So it's all very safe and protected in healing in that. And I mean, to kind of give you an idea, we were having a good chuckle one day because one of the Holy Fire Reiki masters, that's a good friend of ours, was looking at hypnotherapy, and she was looking at different methods of the different people who were delivering the courses. And she was sitting there explaining it to Janet and I one day. Go ahead, Janet, you can tell.
I can't even talk about it.
And it's like, I can't remember the process, but it was something like it just, basically touched the person's hand and it's gone, which is super cool, like so powerful that it can be that simple. And we're going, but how boring. Fast, effective, boring.
It might be good for some people, but
yes.
and
no offense to the people that do that
no,
work, but for
but
us, it's so intriguing to
we
hear
like
this
details.
story.
We like looking at
yeah.
where they lived, what they did, and they like hearing that too.
Yeah.
Because it completes something.
Yeah, because they didn't know that part of their
Exactly.
history, and it's about their history. As it
Exactly.
was explained to me, it's not your past life so much, it's your history as a soul, as a spirit. Where have you been? What have you done?
And that helps you heal
You've
your
been
trauma.
everywhere.
Yeah.
And
But
then,
it helps heal their trauma
yeah.
and a generational,
Mm-hmm.
which helps heal your whole family.
Yep. And then the
So-
other aspect of it is you get to be in touch with how powerful you really are. It's so empowering. You are extremely powerful. You feel limited in this human body, but it actually, as humans, we're extremely powerful. And that's why they all, are after us. We won't go there. But because we have very special, it's very much a privilege to be human being on this planet, especially at this time as we're going through this. I mean, it may seem like the world is going crazy and about to end in the global scape, more so than any time in any of our lifetimes for those that are still alive on this planet. But there are some really good things happening. And I think on that note, we are going to let you tap into spirit, and we're going to be looking forward to 2023.
Well, on that note, I just want to say one more thing. When the people go through these healings, it really helps them to empower themselves and take back their power.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like they walk out of here with their shoulders back, their head held high, and a feeling of self and a feeling of worthiness, which is so important. Because when you walk out that door, you want to feel good about who you are. So like, great job.
Well, thank you.
Great job, kid.
Couldn't do it without you.
Yeah.
And
team effort.
Team effort. And it's yeah, and I think too, what we also are giving them is tools and resources. Now they have answers that they know what they can do, and it's all free will. So I find the biggest struggle when we're doing this, as you can attest to, is that some things we just don't want to let go of.
No.
And it can be a real, what is it that you say? Don't make me slap you.
Yeah, don't make me slap you.
But it's always humorous. We always have fun. It's like there's a song for everything. The next thing you know, we're singing a song about something that comes up. So it's pretty powerful.
Yeah, and it's joyful. It's just your heart is filled with joy when you're finished.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's really awesome.
Yeah. So one of the things we're just kind of talking about, because one of the things Janet's never really has done is like predictions. We didn't want to do predictions for 2023. There's lots of people out there doing that.
Yeah.
But, so we kind of tossed around how these changing energies, they're impacting young babies right up to, our elderly, like older than us elderly. And especially when we think about the children who've come in already so highly wired and so different and so gifted and that's old timers that are coming into our gifts and into our our life purpose, our mission for being here. We're getting, the energy's changing and the planet's moving through a different part of the solar system. There's astrological setups that have not been around in our lifetime that's impacting us. The solar flares are impacting us. I mean, the earth is electromagnetic field. Our bodies are electromagnetic fields. We're getting bombarded, but not in a negative way. But then people are unsure. They don't understand what's happening to them. So maybe if you want to, I'll let you talk about that. What does spirit have to say about what we're moving into?
Well, it feels like we're moving into a whole new level of honesty and openness, that a lot of lies will be revealed. A lot of people who do something negative to somebody, it comes back and slaps them pretty quickly. Okay. And it feels like the health, our healthcare system is going to totally change. Okay. I'm seeing a way of people being able to go to a space and going into these beautiful med beds and coming out of those med beds a short while later and their body is totally healed. Okay. But it's their spirit, it's their heart that they have to take care of. Okay. The more good that they put out, the more good that comes back. I see families just reconnecting in a beautiful way. And there's a lot of forgiveness that's coming forward as well. There's also people are seeing what's truly important in life, and it's not stuff. It's people.
Mhm.
It's love. Okay. The more love you put out, the more love comes back.
Mhm.
I'm seeing like there's places in definitely the States is going to go look because I see a lot of changes there, and it's going to be pretty nasty for a while. Okay, because I feel like it's about a 2-3 year process before things really calm down there. But it's going to be better.
Mhm.
Europe is just, there's something about Europe fading. And I feel like part of it is fading away. It will no longer be there.
That's interesting.
It's just, and I still get Paris and Paris is
Paris
on
is
fire.
burning. Paris
Paris
is
is burning.
burning. Oh,
Paris is burning.
because we did this whole thing where we went. So every once in a while we have these little spirit contests things, like because I get information different than Jen. I said, okay, let's just do a thing for next week. This was a few. This
Few
might have
months
been
ago.
months ago.
Yeah.
And I go, oh, I got something's going to happen with the financial system. And just so you know, I don't watch TV. I don't watch any truther videos anymore. I don't, I mean, I don't hear about what's going on. And I mean, I get it through some other sources that one or two sources that I trust, but otherwise I really don't know what's going on in the world.
But see, I feel like the financials crashing and burning, but
Mhm.
something better is replacing it.
Yeah. But
You know?
that's been underway for a while, but I got something about the financial system, and that's when that, FX thing the next week, that's when that got revealed. And then Janet got, I see Paris burning. And so I looked it up like the next week just to see, and then got this movie from the 1990s or 80s or something about Paris burning. And I said, well, you got a movie, but
not a movie.
it's not a movie. There's something else going to
There's
happen.
parts of Paris that are going to burn because it feels like
Interesting.
it's being incinerated.
Yes.
So
when we go back to energetically, though, what's happening, how can people deal with their, because you were talking about being aware of surroundings and awareness, and so what does spirit have to say or give to you about
well,
how we
understand
can
that when you
navigate this?
okay, the best way for me is when you go out, okay, you're going to pick up all this energy and it's not going to be pretty. So before you go out the door, find a good way to ground yourself, protect yourself, okay? And I'm talking spiritually,
Mhm.
okay? Ground yourself with the white light, ground yourself with the gold light, whichever light feels right to you,
Mhm.
okay? Always do that.
Or you can use the 12T shield, which you can find from Energetic Synthesis.
Yeah.
It is on YouTube, but it's also on our website as well.
But
And
we
it's
all have
called the
something
12D
different. Yeah.
shield.
12D shield.
But everybody has some, yeah.
Everybody has something that helps them to ground.
Mhm.
Just ground your energy really good before you even walk out the door in the morning. Okay. And set your intention for the day. What's your intention for the day? To get through this day in a positive, loving way. How can it get better than this?
How can it get better than
How can it
this?
get better than this?
With ease and grace.
Exactly. And when you're going through a tough time, ask for the ease in it. How
Mhm.
can I get through this with ease and grace? Those simple little things will actually make a big difference in 2023, because I just feel like, yeah, we're heading into new loving energies, but there's a little bit of backwash there before we come out of it. So it's still going to be another couple of years before it all just settles down, like anywhere from 5 years to 20 years.
Mhm.
Okay. But if you're aware of your surroundings, you're aware of how you're feeling when you're there, get out of it, walk away from it.
Mhm.
Okay. Because when you go home, smudge yourself, take a bay leaf. Okay. Not bay leaves, a bay leaf, and burn it. Okay. And then just kind of smudge yourself with that energy around you.
Mhm.
So you're taking all that negative off you that you've picked up when you were out. Or sage, and not the spice, this actual wild
Mhm.
sage. Okay. Sand pallow, cedar. All of those are really, really good for clearing the energy.
Yeah, and if you're a healer, if you have there's all kinds of different practices out there. It doesn't have to be Reiki, but there's all kinds of ways that you can clear yourself. And if you I mean, there's lots of websites too that have clearings, actual clearings you can do for negative energies and stuff like that. It is something I do as well, but we're not going to talk about that right now.
But it feels like we're going back to the basics. We're going back to healing with herbs.
mhm.
Okay. And instead of going to a doctor right away, you know, say, okay, this is not something I have to go to the doctor for. I have to, see a homeopathic
Mhm.
person, okay, that can help me with what I'm dealing with. So I don't have to go into pharmaceuticals. I can look for help in different areas like Reiki or
Oh, there's so many.
there's so
Yeah.
many healing modalities out there because the
And they
energy work.
complement each other. So it's not
Exactly.
about picking one over the other sometimes,
Yeah,
and it's about finding the ones that are going to mesh with whatever your situation is. And some of it isn't even just about you need healing, it's about preventative,
Yeah.
like just doing the preventative stuff. And there's just so many self-care things you can do for yourself, as far as looking after yourself so that you're, creating, we were just talking about that earlier, creating
exactly.
boundaries, like not letting people
Suck you dry.
even if it's energetic, but also how they're in your life. And I mean, there's just so many different things. It's about, carving out, even if it's 5 to 15 minutes a day, just to have for meditation. And people think meditation is complicated, and it's not. Oh, I can't meditate. My brain's too busy. Well, just do it for 5 minutes. Then
Close your eyes.
close your eyes. Go
Picture
for a
yourself.
walk.
Yeah, picture yourself in your happy place
Yeah,
for 5 minutes.
yeah. And
Simple
just
meditation.
ask all those thoughts if they come, just
Yeah.
brush them away. Getting out in nature and the trees. Put your hand on a tree, like you'll feel the energy coming from those trees. And so and some people think, sometimes their hobbies and the things that they do actually put them into that meditative state and they don't even realize it. So it's just about being in that moment of self-care.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But all those things, it's going to be more about taking care of yourself. Okay. Taking care of the people around you, but not letting them take everything from you. Okay. Because I'm seeing so many people in what we do that are exhausted and their clients don't even realize that they're doing that to them or their friends or their family. So sometimes you just have to say, well, not today. Today is a me day. Today is a day I don't do readings. Okay, I just rest and I sit with my friends and relax.
So what are some of with these new energies and shifts and changes and, listening to Lisa Renee from Energetic Synthesis, the end of October, we actually shifted into this future timeline. And in the process of shifting into that timeline, we actually have to heal all the stuff from the old timeline. So people are going through, if people are experiencing, they're finding themselves a lot more irritable, or there's a lot of conflict that
Or
seems
nauseous or headachy,
yeah,
or just shaky,
or they might be getting things that they thought had
negative thoughts.
healed, and
Yeah.
it's like, where did that come from? I thought I dealt with that. So what other things might they be experiencing?
Well, they might be experienced like false flu. Okay, like they
Mhm.
get all the symptoms of the flu, but they don't really have the flu.
Mhm.
Aches and pains in parts of your body, like your back, okay,
Mhm.
your neck, your headaches like crazy, and pressure.
Mhm.
But that all has to do with the energy that needs to be cleared.
Mhm.
So you get that energy cleared, or you clear it yourself. If you can do that, that's fantastic. And by doing that, you'll find that you'll come out of it faster.
And what it's also doing too is as we do that work and people, this is often I feel isn't talked about, but we're actually, we vibrate at a frequency. We were operating at a frequency. And then as we change, heal, and grow, our frequency changes. So it puts us into a different level. And then we start attracting more positive things because we're at this higher frequency. And then but the people around us, who are close to us, whether they consciously know it or not, they feel threatened by that because you're changing. So they might be trying to trigger you or trying to, bait you so that you fall back into those old patterns so you can, because you're changing, but it may not they might see you every day and you're the same person, seeing the same person, but you're energetically changing. So, where was I going with that? So the frequency change is also going to they might feel more lightheaded or dizzy because these new energies are actually coming in. But what would this also indicate maybe that some of their gifts are that have been suppressed or trying to come open? What do you say about that?
Well, I think a lot of the headaches and going back, like a lot of people will get flashes and flashes of past lives and things like that.
Mhm.
And they're like, well, that was kind of cool, but not understanding it.
Mhm.
Okay, all those little things to me is like the past, the present, and the future all coming together.
Oh, and dreams.
And
People are having vivid,
vivid
crazy
dreams.
dreams.
But it's pushing us,
Yeah.
okay? It's pushing us to heal that so that we can go into the
Mhm.
next cycle renewed, refreshed, and ready to
Mhm.
be part of that next stage in
And
a beautiful healing way.
And do you not think too, some of this is like their gifts, like battering around inside them, going like, let me out, like I'm here. So people might be experiencing things like heightened intuition,
Very much so. Heightened intuition,
deja vu.
lots of deja vu, synchronicities.
Mhm.
Okay. I've showed up in places when I walked in the door and the hostess, okay, and I are wearing the same colors.
Mhm.
Like it's just in the last week and a half, there's 3 places that I've been, and I just don't know what to wear when I get up, and I go, okay, I'm gonna wear that. Put it on, go to their place, and they're wearing the same thing. It's like, okay.
Huh.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Um, but it's kind of fun, but more synchronicities. You're going to see more numbers like 1111, 222, 444, 333. Okay. 888,
They're trying to
777.
talk to us.
They're talking to you through the numbers, right? Look up the numbers. What do the numbers mean?
Mhm. And
And
through animals,
and through animals, like the
music.
birds and
Oh,
music,
yeah.
and you hear a song on the radio, and there's one line that seems to stand out more than anything else. There's a message right there.
Yeah, and this happened to me a couple of times the last 2 weeks. It's like someone was texting me and they sent me the word research instead of ready. And the other one was, I was on Wordle. Sometimes I do those things just to have fun. I do have fun sometimes. And all of a sudden I just got apply. And like all these words, when I put them together, actually meant something to me. And it was like really cool, but I was paying attention. I was really paying attention and I was asking for messages. And it was like, even someone texts you the wrong word or they say the wrong thing, or all of a sudden something pops up and it's spirit trying to. So I wonder how many people go through their day and just don't even realize, like they're going, hello, we're here, we're trying to talk to you and you're not listening.
The awakening process is beautiful, but some people might feel like a little afraid of it.
Mhm.
Don't be. nothing's going to hurt you like that. So don't be, just embrace it and ask your guides, your angels to surround you, protect you, and help you to get the answers that you need. Okay. Because you're not going to get the answers you want. You're going to get the answers you need. And that'll help you in the process of moving forward, constantly moving forward, because we want forward movement. We want healing.
Hence the topic, looking forward.
Exactly.
To 2023. And I think, some of the things that people have been talking about is that, they're walking near someone or in a group of people, and all of a sudden they're getting people's thoughts, or they're getting people's emotions. And I mean, that's the emotion thing. I mean, there's a lot of empaths out there, and they need to protect their field so they're not picking up other people's stuff. But I think it's a bit surprising when this happens to people, because it's like, oh no, can I actually read this person's thoughts? Like, what's happening to me, right? So can you talk a bit about that?
Well, sometimes when you're just sitting beside somebody, all of a sudden you'll pick up or answer their question that they asked in their head, and you'll just answer them, and they'll just look at you like you're oddball. Okay. But that's okay. That's okay. It's fun being an oddball. But you'll do that, and because you're picking up that energy of that thought, right? And so when you're picking up that energy, it's like, that's kind of cool. It's not, you're not invading their space. Okay. They're asking that thought, and that thought went into your head.
Well, thoughts are energy, right?
Exactly.
So you're picking up the energy.
You're picking up pure energy.
Yeah.
Everything is energy. Everything.
So what about people who are getting these really high frequency noises in their ears? Because that's increasing too.
Yeah, that hurts.
And then they go to the doctor thinking they have tinnitus, and it's not.
Not tinnitus. You're being downloaded. Okay, that's messages coming in, and you never know when you're going to need those messages, but you'll be somewhere. Say you're downtown and you're going for a walk, and the message comes in, go into that store, and you're like, no, I'm not going to that store. Go into that store now. You need to go into that store, look around. And you go into that store and you go, oh my God, there's that salt lamp I've been wanting for so long. And it's like, and it's on sale. Oh my God. Yay, bonus. Spirit just guided me to a great sale
thing.
Well, Spirit does that with me.
Yes.
And so, you get that salt lamp, or there's somebody in that store that you haven't seen in years. And they're like, oh my God, how are you? And they give you the update of how they're doing. But Spirit wants you to connect again, right? Even if it's just for half an hour, 10 minutes. But maybe that connection helped that person in a really positive way. Help them to see that, there are people that care about them, because a lot of people feel so lonely and alone.
Yeah.
And sometimes Spirit just wants to guide you to that person, to give them that boost, to make them feel better.
It's all about being in that heart space too.
Exactly.
Like generating that energy from the heart.
Exactly. And just doing things with love. Okay. Everything has to be done with love.
Yes. My favorite thing is, what would love do?
Exactly.
What would love do in this circumstance? And it's a challenge, because even for me, it's a challenge, even though I know it. What would love do?
But you're tenacious.
But I'm tenacious.
She's tenacious.
Yeah. But it's, so the high frequency noise are the messages. It could be your spirit guides trying to talk to you. You could be getting downloads. If you get weirdly tired, that was happening to me for a while. I'd be sitting there working. It's like, oh my God, like I'm getting weirdly tired. I got to lie down. But it'll last for half an hour. And it's like, some people are getting so what about some of the visual stuff people might be seeing? Because we talked to someone who was actually seeing kaleidoscopes of colors, and they actually thought they were having a stroke.
No, they're not having a stroke.
And that wasn't what was happening, but they were getting some healing and light code. So maybe if you want to talk about that, because I really want to talk about some of the things people might be going, oh my God, like what's happening to me, who have maybe had gifts and shut them down, maybe not even aware that they have these gifts, and now they're trying to come out.
Oh, that is scary for people who are very I don't want to use the word anal,
Skeptical,
skeptical, um who
non-believers.
non-believers, people who have gone through life regimented.
Mhm.
Everything has to be in a certain way at a certain time, and you know, blah 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 blah. But now all of a sudden things are happening to them. Okay, they're giving those high-pitched sounds, their eyes are going blurry for no reason. They're getting the headaches. Oh my God, look at that. All of a sudden you see these colors, and it's like your eyes are going in and out, and these colors are coming at you, and it's a spiral. Or, oh my God, it's coming like this. But it's like 10 different colors, like in a big circle, and then another circle, and then another circle. Or then you see a jiggly line like that. Well, that's light codes coming down. But the light codes are coming down from um, our people on, what do we call it? I always say the wrong word.
Oh, the Octurians?
Yes.
Yes, the Octurians,
Yes.
from what I understand, is that a lot of the light codes,
Exactly.
they're the ones that are bringing those in for people.
And
So,
trying to bring in more healing
right.
for people on earth. And you find like you're around people that they just they look outwardly, okay? And there's something about them that's oddly calming,
Mhm.
and they're here to help us, okay, to that through this next stage in our life, which is supposed to be more about peace and love. So let's bring that peace and love and joy back into our life. Let's heal.
Yeah, and I think it's important for people to understand that you don't want to be suppressing those
No,
emotions. You are going to be angry, but it can be healthy angry. You are going to be like all of those negative emotions. We're here to heal all that negative ego stuff. However, we still have emotions. We can't shut them down. We can't shut them off, but it's all how you um observe those emotions and understand what they are. And, if you're experiencing depression or anger or any of those lower vibrational energies, you still have to go through the process of them. Um, but do you want to keep talking? I just gotta.
you're still going to feel those emotions. You're still going to have to deal with them. So when you go through an anger little splurt, just honor that and just go, okay, I needed to get that off my chest, but now I need to get rid of it and release it. Release it to the universe.
And it's a being the observer. Why is this happening?
Exactly.
Is this even mine? Is it
Exactly.
somebody else's? Am I, because that's something we didn't talk about, is how we're getting, whether you believe it or not, we're getting impulse. There's mind control programming out there that's been around for, God knows how long. But I mean, the research I've done is, a lot of it started in the 60s, and a lot of those programs they thought ended. But even if, I went to college and did a marketing program and they talked about subliminal advertising, and that seems so innocent or not such a bad thing until you see the underlying, it's in everything. And then people are picking up these frequencies because that has a frequency.
Yeah.
And then they're starting to react to that. But if they really start to think about it, is it really theirs? Or did they just pick something up either from somebody else or something else, and they're responding to that? And it can be hard, especially when you're in, one of those emotional episodes, let's say.
Well, we are becoming more emotional.
Right. Yeah.
Very much so. Like, just you'll look at somebody, all of a sudden the tears will come running down your face.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, why? I'm not a very emotional person. And all of a sudden I'm just like, oh, tears are coming out of my eyes. I'm like, geez, what's going on here? And it's like standing in that moment and understanding that maybe the tears are coming because you're looking at that person differently now. You're looking at them with love.
Mhm.
right? Love.
Or sheer joy. I've
Exactly.
been experiencing the joy. It's indescribable. And we're talking about the love is not just human love, but
No.
the universal collective love. So,
Exactly.
yeah.
And sending love to people, just that beautiful energy of love
Mhm.
to help them so that they can be on their path and heal.
Yep.
So we're going to get a lot of getting rid of the negative, getting rid of the nastiness, starting to see life from the basics as being positive and loving and kind, and not all wanting to be part of wars or part of fighting and anger.
Mhm. And a lot of that too, that love is self-love, right? Loving,
Exactly.
because we've been taught not to care about ourselves and, programmed that that's selfish. But the most powerful thing we can do is love ourselves. And I mean, I just had an experience this weekend where, we were at a get together and, just by sitting in the moment and just being in the joy of it and just feeling from the heart all the energy going out, you could just see all of a sudden the transformation of everybody laughing and having fun. And it was like, wow, we can create this. We're powerful creators,
We are. And
So,
we're going to be able to create what we need, what we want to feel
mhm,
just by thinking it,
yeah.
and focusing on that. We're going to be able to heal that. That's so cool.
Mhm.
I love that.
And that's why too, we want to be in the right frame of mind when we're doing that, because as much as we can manifest the good things, we can also manifest the
The bad
bad
things that we don't want to do that.
And actually it seems so much easier. I remember having that, pondering that one, like, why is it so much easier? Does it seem? It's because that negative emotion is so powerful, right? But if you look at the opposite end of it, when you're in that joy and love, that's a super powerful manifesting emotion too.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
anything else around and I think maybe that was something, it's kind of going back to when we were talking about, predictions and readings and stuff, and what I keep trying to explain to people, because we have this, through our own life experience and the way our mind constructs things, and we don't know what's in the future. So if we do a reading with Janet, for example, and she says, well, here's the parameters of what I see happening to you. And then, when it happens, it didn't happen the way you thought it was going to happen. It's like it happened,
But
but
in a different
in
way.
a different way.
Yes.
And you can never know all the possibilities to get you where our mind isn't even in this moment, can't go into the future to predict how that outcome. And then sometimes people are stuck on, oh, well, it's got to happen this way. And then they go, well, it didn't happen that way. Well, yeah, it still happened. It's just not in the way that you thought that it was going to happen.
Exactly. Because when spirit shows me something, they show me it in like a video running in my head. Okay. So I'll see it one way, but sometimes it'll just turn out totally, it still happens, but it not the way that I said. It comes out another way. But that's spirit coming through me. And all I can do is pass on that message.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just the messenger.
Yep.
Okay. And I want people to know that being the messenger is a wonderful gift. It really helps a lot of people.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And that's a big deal to me, because I want to see people happy and healthy and their life filled with love and kindness.
Yep. And I think too, sometimes that we have, kind of touching on that as well, is that, as we shift and change and we say, like I do a lot of work with affirmations, not the law of attraction affirmations, but a different kind through the Reiki process. And it's like writing things out as the way that you would like them to happen, for the highest good, etc. but it's always in divine right order, like whatever, because we don't have control. We don't even have all the information to be able to predict what that is. And it's not about being, stuck on the outcome. But as we're shifting and moving through, even if it's a simple statement of, where you want to live, for example, then all of a sudden your whole life feels like, what's happening? It's like the tower moment. Everything's chaos, everything's conflict, everything is shutting down, closing in. And it's like, what? Well, what we need to understand is that you put your request in at the universe and said, this is what I want. Well, in order for you to get there, you don't realize it, but all these other things have to collapse, change. You have to get rid of them, let go of them. And sometimes that conflict has to happen to shift the other people around you into that path, or there could actually be other people connected to you moving into that place. That has to create, there has to be things that all happen around that in order to get to that place. So one of the favorite things I like to do is like, do a time, I get teased about it all the time, but do a timeline, oh my God, look at this outcome. Look at all these things that happen along the way. But when you look at all the pieces that happen and put them together, it's like, oh my God, it had to happen this way.
She even does charts. Yeah.
I do. And it's like, but wow, this is it's cool.
It is.
People are looking at me going, my life is turned upside down. You think this is
No.
cool? And I'm going, but it is. It's fascinating. Look at the wheels that got put into motion in order to get you where it is. And I mean, we were just talking about a friend of ours, a long 2-year process they've been going through. And it was like, this is the worst thing that could happen. It was like, no, it actually had to happen that way, because if it didn't happen that way, you wouldn't have got the right people in your life to be able to help with the next stage of where you're going.
Exactly. Out of
It's super
chaos
cool.
comes calm.
I love doing those charts.
The big charts too.
So thinking about 2023, does Spirit have anything that they can generally say about people with their gifts that they might be experiencing, so that they can feel okay, like,
First of
allow
all,
them to come out?
don't be afraid of them. Be calm, ground yourself, and talk to somebody who knows about the gifts and how to bring them out or how to deal with them.
Mm-hmm.
And like, there are so many people that, like our little group there that comes,
Mm-hmm.
and they're learning and they're talking to each other, and they're not feeling like they're out of place. They feel
Mm-hmm.
like, wow, I actually understand this better now.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can connect with other people that have gifts or talking about their gifts, please do.
Mm-hmm.
I recommend it, because I think that once you connect like that, you're going to find a part of your soul family.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then when your soul family gets together, wow, it's amazing. And then the work that you can do together to help one another. Okay. And then help even more and more.
I see it as like everyone has this homing beacon that's already
Exactly.
implanted in them, and they're all now starting to gather and shift and change. So then, that's why I think too, some of these relationships and stuff have shifted and changed, because they had to, in order for people to get realigned into the groups and with the people that they're meant to be with. And I remember you saying that to me when I first met you. It's like, oh, there's going to be a lot of relationship changes coming up. And we had no idea COVID was going to hit. What a challenge that was on relationships. But, and it was all about making sure people were meeting the people that they needed to be with going forward into this next stage.
So we're going to meet more and more of our soul family. Okay. And we're going to connect that way. And you're going to find out of all the chaos comes peace, comes unity.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I look forward to the next part of my life.
Oh, I think it's exciting, the things that are coming in.
It
I don't
is.
even listen to, like, all this stuff is just posturing crap that we're seeing right now. None of it's real, because God wins and the good things are coming. And all of this is just the last posturing of those that have to fall down and, no longer create this prison planet thing that we've been on. But anyway,
Don't listen to all the crap that's going
I know
on.
what I was gonna say.
Really, don't listen to it. If it's all negative, you don't need to hear it. Okay, because if you're listening to the news every night and then it sits in you, you don't sleep right, you don't feel good because all of the negative on the news. Do you really need to listen to the news?
Yeah, and as
You know?
as a Reiki master, I forgot to introduce myself, but it is my channel. But as Holy Fire Reiki master, energy worker, Earth Light Energies practitioner, don't sleep with electronics in your room. Go get a beautiful silent arm, battery operated clock, put it in your room. Because those, what I'm feeling in people's fields, it's like iron filings going into my hands from all of the EMFs, the AI tech that's getting gathered up in our, you're like a magnet and it's just like coming in. And if you're starting to feel heavy, not yourself, sleeping a lot, lethargic, you're probably getting way down by all of that. And there's crystals. Actually, we have some beautiful Amazonite here that I don't know if you can see. How can I bring this into focus? But have this beautiful Amazonite piece that's really good for EMFs, as well as shungite. And there's a lot of beautiful crystals out there that are good that you can sleep beside you, or sleep beside you, have them sleep beside you.
Look at this one.
Sleep on my heart. I thought I lost my heart.
No, your heart is right over here.
Oh, and that's the other thing I just wanted to mention too. And if I'm curious as to what Spirit has to say about this, but I got a sense that as we move through this, that people are going to be really looking to other people for guidance and help. But the downside of that has happened in the past and is still going on is that then people start looking for gurus, and they don't need somebody. They might need a little bit of information and guidance, but I think what I like about our group is that it's, you're mentoring the group. It's a mentorship. It's not about I have all the answers and this is the way to do it, and trying to sell a methodology or you know what I mean? So, but I worry that there's going to be these people saying that they're the ones that have the way for you, so that you become a follower rather than understanding. Really what you want is everything's inside of you. And it's like, well, what the heck does that mean? Well, it's already there. You just need somebody to help you unlock
it
and open it up and
the door.
understand what you're experiencing, not to follow them and do what they're doing, but to experience it and understand. And even everyone's gifts, like you can't, like even intuition,
listen to your intuition,
or
please.
the visions that
Yeah.
people get. Everybody gets stuff so different. So it's not like a one size fits all for all of these gifts that we have. We don't even know what they are.
And go to somebody that your gut tells you, okay, this feels right to me. Okay, because you gotta go to somebody that it feels comfortable, it feels safe, and it feels like, yeah, this is right.
Yeah, and don't be all
don't be worried.
Well, yeah, but what's the other word I'm looking for? Don't be all like in awe and ready to, oh my God, this person is like, put them on a pedestal.
Don't do that.
Because that's, if you're getting that sense or that feeling, then they're energetically connecting with you and sending the wrong energy and manipulating your energy in a way that,
that's not
I don't know how to explain it.
No.
You're better explaining it when I get this stuff. So
we're just the messengers. Okay, that's all we are. We just pass on the message and we help you to open up. So it's about you. Okay, if there's messages in class that people need, believe me, I'll tell you. Because it's important that you get that message at that time. So then you're walking around, you're going, that's really cool. Okay, I got a nice message there. And that feels right. That feels like okay, what's my next step now?
And you're never given any information you're not meant to have. So, and
Exactly.
I think it's important that people understand too, you have to, there are some people who are readers that violate, in my opinion, violate some of those laws and our universal laws. And I think that people need to understand that you can't get information about another person unless you're meant to have it and it's impactful to you. So if you're trying to do that, first of all, why are you trying to do that?
Exactly. Why do you want to
And
keep that?
why
Ugh.
and then it's not appropriate and you're sending yourself on in the wrong path as well. So I don't know where that came from. That
But
just
when
kind of
I get
popped out.
messages, okay, I pass them on. Once I pass them on, that's it. It's
Yeah, they
gone.
leave.
I don't remember the message or anything that I said.
Mhm.
So when I do a reading, I don't remember what I said
Yeah.
because it's divinely guided. It's not me. Okay. It just comes through me. That's
Yeah.
it. So just the
Well,
messenger.
anything else about 2023 that's coming to mind where before we sign off here?
Well, I think there's going to be a lot of surprises for people, but I think it's going to be positive.
Mhm.
Okay. And I also feel a lot of soul connections coming in,
Mhm.
and it's going to be a lot of joy there.
Mhm.
So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
But
I guess too, on a final note, is like, why are you hanging on to stuff? Just out of fear of not having something better, or fear of being alone or anything like that. Like I just remember talking to a young couple recently, and it's like, no, they're the only one, and I'm like, you don't know that. I mean, remember what it was like when we
yes,
were younger, and yeah. But it's like, oh my God, the possibility is out there. You don't even know. You don't know what you don't know.
there's beautiful, beautiful things coming.
Okay.
Okay. A little bit of crap to go through, but beautiful things coming.
Good.
Just be patient. Okay. And be patient with yourself. Okay.
Keep a journal.
Yeah.
Do charts.
Yeah. Don't do a chart.
Do a chart. I'm kidding.
Those are massive.
Yes. Well, Janet, I'd like to thank you for joining me today. And this was fun.
Thank you for having me.
I think we got to do this again. And any final words before we sign off?
Well, I'd like to say Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's, and I'm sending you all tons and tons of beautiful blessings.
Yes.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Yes, and ditto on my side too. And I wish you all the best in the last bit of this crazy year that we've had. Interesting. But you know what? We're gonna look back on this and go, it's pretty cool. We lived through this historical event. So
Absolutely.
it's gonna keep coming. So step into your power, be fabulous, and have yourself a wonderful day. Now I got to figure out how to shut this thing off.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, I think I need my glasses. They're
You
all
do
gonna
need
laugh
your
at here
glasses.
at the end here. There we go. Stop recording.